Ezra's got good insider information. He knows exactly why Mike Johnson shut down Congress. So he's going to tell us. This is not opinion. This is 100% fact. Go for it, Ezra.
Yeah, so we started on the easy one, huh?
Yeah.
So I listened to you all on Epstein, and
nice.
it had been in my head when I just did an Epstein show, and I read all the Epstein coverage and like went back and talked to people who knew more about it than I did, and I come to the view that you could explain away most of it, and then Mike Johnson recessed Congress rather than even allow a vote on it.
Yeah,
and it's really hard to believe there's something weird when the people with power are acting that weirdly.
Yeah.
Can you explain like what that means to recess Congress?
Yeah, so he used his power as speaker to send Congress home. Congress has a schedule, they can be recessed. There were enough Republicans breaking with the Trump administration to force a vote alongside Democrats. I think you guys had Ro Khanna on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to force a vote with Democrats to release the files, much more of the files. And did you guys read the FBI DOJ memo?
I read nothing ever.
So the FBI DOJ memo says why it's not going to release the files. And it says that the files are braided together with information about women and girls. Yeah. And it doesn't want to, like, their priority is not re-traumatizing people, re-victimizing.
Even though they're begging for justice.
So
have we asked the girls at all?
Right. So that's, I guess, fine on the memo.
Redact the girls' names.
That is not a reason that Congress would force itself into recess, right? That is a preference on the part of the DOJ and FBI.
Yeah.
But Congress is an oversight body in part, right? It's another branch of government. And I would just say, Johnson is not acting like someone who just finds this politically inconvenient. He's acting like someone who can't let something happen.
Yes.
And also it would be, if the whole thing for them now was just, they think on net, it would not serve anyone's interest and just be intrusive to release this, fine. Like, again, that's a reasonable take to have had, but there is so much ferment and interest that you would think they would say, okay, well, this is what people want. This is what Congress wants. Yeah. You know, we told you we don't think there's anything here, but I guess you guys can look at it. Or they could give it to committee under closed door privileges, right? There's a lot of things you could do.
Million things they could do. And the weirdest thing...
Recessing Congress is not usually one of them.
Here's the weirdest thing about it. Like, Trump is usually so transactional with the base. The base asks for something, he listens. I would say he listens to the base way more than any politician that I've ever seen. There are certain politicians that might push back against their base because they're like, this wouldn't really go along with policy that we want to do. Trump is like, hey, the base thinks vaccines are fucked up. RFK, get in there.
January
Research
6th,
the vaccine.
they want them out.
They want them out. We're putting them out. And this, he is rebuking the base. Like, almost like spitting in their face. Like, they are asking for it. He campaigned on it. He puts Bongino and Cash in there, which might be the stupidest thing in the history of the world. Like, why would you put the two guys that have nonstop pounded the pavement talking about how we're going to expose this Epstein thing, and the second they get in there, like, you better shut the fuck up.
Yeah, to shut him up.
Go on Rogan, lie. Like, it is a very peculiar thing. It worked in that I think it moved any of the smoke off of Trump, because at least for me, I was like, there's no way that he's involved if he's putting Bongino and Cash in who have campaigned on exposing it. Like, why would you hire those guys or appoint those guys, right? So I'm like, he can't be. But the fact that he will not touch this, and then this last week, him doing the bullshit distractions, dropping the MLK file. Like, who asked for the MLK file?
Yeah.
Who asked for MLK?
You know what's funny is I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist, and I was initially like, the Epstein thing for me was just the last straw in terms of you not getting things done. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure there's some smoke, they'll release it. But the more they're doing to hide it, the more I'm like, oh, they're hiding something crazy. Yeah. I didn't necessarily, I was like, there's probably something.
The second he started talking about Obama, I was like, oh, he's guilty.
Yeah.
Also, like, why are you talking about Obama and treason? You got a guy who has sex with teenagers that you are protecting.
Also, some of the lies are
other
so...
pedophiles.
Yeah.
Trump is protecting other pedophiles.
Facts.
Like, that's what it is.
Or Epstein, because I actually think, like, I actually think Epstein was a pedophile that was also involved in nefarious activities for maybe our government and other governments. And that they're protecting that relationship they had with him. I don't think it's like the CIA was running a pedophile ring to blackmail people. I think Epstein was a pedophile, obviously heinous one, but he had these relationships with all these powerful people around the world. And if you have that type of power in those relationships, maybe our government would want to have access to that.
So you think Epstein was the only one messing with the
I
young
don't-
children?
No. Of course not. But I don't think that's what the government's protecting.
So here's what
I think-
another administration would do,
Yeah.
right? Because you've had things like this before where there's been a fear that they cannot investigate it or prosecute it independently. And they often name special prosecutors. We saw this under Bill Clinton, right? We saw this under Joe Biden, around Hunter Biden.
Yeah. Shout out Hunter, man. He's making a comeback.
He's making, I've talked about that too. They're not doing anything. They're not doing any of the things you can do when what you want to say is like, look, there's information here that everybody can have. It violates privacy, but we're going to put someone credible in charge of it, somebody we don't control.
Yeah.
And their report is going to be credible to you.
Yeah.
And they're just not
doing it.
acting like that. I'll say the thing I thought was funniest in all this was when the Wall Street Journal released that letter that is like in the Epstein, 50th birthday book. And there's a doodle from Trump, and Trump's like, I don't draw. And then the Times was like, here is a gallery of doodles that Donald Trump has done and sold for charity. And then here's from his book.
He said,
him
I don't use
talking
the
about
word
how he
enigma.
draws.
And then they're like, here's him using the word enigma twice in a 15-second video.
Dude, the funniest argument that I saw about it was, this is too poetic for Trump.
I would 100% believe he didn't write it. He
president-
just drew the naked woman.
Fair enough. But the
Like, I
argument
can
essentially,
compromise
the
on that.
president of the United States of America is too stupid to write this, therefore it must not be him. That was the argument that people were going.
Look, I can give you the argument for like why you should believe there is less here than one would think.
Okay. Less here meaning...
In Epstein, right? This is sort of where I was a week or two ago, which is that the amount of firepower, like investigatory, law firm, repertorial, and government firepower that has been aimed at this thing, trying to find lawsuits to bring, because there's money. There's money here, there's media here, whatever, like whether people used to be scared of Epstein, they're definitely not now. It's like the best media organizations in the world, the biggest law firms in the world, the Biden administration, the Trump administration. You tell me there's something none of them can breach? Like, I found that hard to believe. And the thing that is weighting down the other side of it for me is how much the Trump administration appears to be panicking.
Panic mode.
Like, genuinely panicking as there are demands to breach it. If it wasn't dangerous, I don't know why they don't give it to Congress.
It has to be dangerous 100%. And I think there's an interesting thing happening, which is like, there are definitely a lot of Democrats that are interested in this story because it's putting pressure on Trump. Mm-hmm. And what I would say to conservatives is don't do the finger wagging. Don't be like, why didn't you care about this 4 years ago? I would say, like, you get the same, you want to know what's going on. Now you have bipartisan support to figure out what's going on. You're on the same page. Let them in. Don't go, where the fuck were you for the last 4 years? Who gives a fuck? Now they realize that they want to have this. Let them get there. And that's what I've seen, like a little bit of this. I've seen little conversations online like, Biden had it for 4 years. Why weren't you asking about it now? You're only asking because of Trump. Who gives a fuck? Get the info.